Alright, Shalom. First of all, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith, and Shalom to all the sincere believers, which includes the Israelites who are scattered amongst these nations and look like these other nations. Now, this lesson is going to be based on this situation that took place at a Senate hearing where a Marine veteran was forcibly removed. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. It says, Marine veteran Brian McGinnis removed from Senate hearing after protest over U.S. policy toward Israel. It said Brian McGinnis, a Marine Corps veteran and Green Party candidate for U.S. Senate in North Carolina, was forcibly removed from a Senate Armed Service Committee hearing on March 4, 2026, after interrupting the proceedings with a protest over U.S. policy in the Middle East. During the hearing, McGinnis stood and began shouting objections to what he characterized as the U.S. movement toward war with Iran in support of Israel. Video from inside the chamber shows Capitol Police moving quickly to restrain and escort him out after he refused to stop speaking. Officers later arrested McGinnis on charges including assault on a police officer, resisting arrest, and unlawful demonstration. Footage of the removal shows multiple officers attempting to pull McGinnis away from a doorway as he held onto the frame. During the struggle, Senator Tim Sheehy of Montana, a Republican member of the committee and former Navy SEAL, left his seat and physically assisted officers in removing McGinnis. The video shows Sheehy grabbing McGinnis as officers attempted to free his arm from the doorway and carry him out. Capitol Police later stated that McGinnis got his own arm stuck in a door to resist our officers and force his way back into the hearing room, and reported that officers sustained minor injuries during the encounter. McGinnis allegedly suffered a broken arm during the struggle. The visual record confirms that security personnel were already engaged in removing McGinnis when she intervened physically. Whether that intervention was necessary or appropriate has become a point of debate, and to be honest, it wasn't necessary. The police had it under control. He didn't need to get involved. But this is just proof of how Esau is. He will hurt his own people. That's how much he doesn't care. Said McGinnis framed his protest explicitly around U.S. support for Israel and the risk of American military escalation with Iran. According to accounts from inside the hearing, he shouted statements including that Americans did not want to fight and die for Israel, which is true. He positioned his protest as an anti-war stand and an effort to confront lawmakers about what he views as foreign policy driven by special interests rather than the will of American voters. His comments reflect a broader political argument that U.S. military commitments in the region are shaped in part by long-standing strategic ties with Israel. That position remains controversial across party lines. Supporters of the U.S.-Israel relationship describe it as a cornerstone of American security policy, while critics argue that congressional alignment with Israeli policy can contribute to entanglement in regional conflict. And that's exactly what's happening. Israel and Iran have issues with each other. It has nothing to do with America, but because America is tied to Israel, whenever Israel gets themselves caught up in some trouble, the U.S. is going to be there to aid them, which means the U.S. military is going to be there, which means U.S. troops are going to get caught in whatever chaos and violence ensues. So basically, a bunch of U.S. military men and women are going to die on behalf of Israel. And there's a lot of American people that are very pissed off about that, because defending Israel has nothing to do with protecting America. And in his campaign for president, Trump was talking about he was going to put America first, but instead he's putting Israel first. And U.S. soldiers are paying the price for it. Said inside congressional hearings, however, outbursts are treated as procedural violations regardless of viewpoint. Senate rules permit the removal of individuals who disrupt official proceedings. McGinnis's arrest followed that pattern. Says Senator Sheehy later described his actions as an effort to assist law enforcement and de-escalate the situation. But see, this is the thing. He never needed to get involved. Nobody asked for his help. So him getting involved was just unnecessary. It's just typical Edomite behavior. So video evidence shows him helping officers lift and remove McGinnis after police had already restrained him. Critics argue that an elected senator inserting himself into a physical removal raises concerns, particularly because trained Capitol Police were already present and engaged. Exactly. So there is no indication at this time that Sheehy faces legal scrutiny for his involvement. Capitol Police have not suggested any misconduct by the senator. The issue remains largely political rather than legal. Whether a member of Congress should physically participate in ejecting a protester when security forces are already handling the situation. And this is the question, is that if Esau will do this to his own people, then what makes any of the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans primarily, think that Esau would treat them better? Esau hates us. So why in the world would you think that if he's going to hurt his own people, he's going to attack his own people, arrest his own people, and in some cases kill his own people? What makes you think he would treat you any better? Ecclesiasticus 14:5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. And the first part is the question. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? So if Esau will hurt his own people and not care, then what makes you think he's going to treat anybody that's not a so-called white person any better? The answer is that he won't be good to anybody. If he will arrest his own people, hurt his own people, kill his own people, his fellow Edomites, then nobody else stands a chance. And that's why we are never to trust Esau, because ultimately he is our enemy. He's been our enemy from the womb. Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And Esau is our enemy. He's our number one enemy. The so-called self-proclaimed white is our enemy. Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Yeah, so, he smiles in your face and he'll talk, to you nice. He'll say nice things to you and all that, try to get you off your guard. Says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. And that's right, his wickedness, his hatred towards us it never went anywhere. It's still there. He could put on a mask and try to hide it and act like, he's on your side. But if you look close enough, you'll see who he really is. That he's just a snake in the grass, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike you. Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. And that's right. Stay away from this devil. You cannot trust him. He's a snake. You let Esau get close to you, he will hurt you. He will kill you. It's in his nature. It's what he does. And like that article proved, he will do that to his own people. So if he'll do his own people dirty, then what do you think he would do to you if you're not a so-called white person? We know that Esau hates brown-skinned people. Whether you're light brown, dark brown, it doesn't matter. He hates brown-skinned people. And he has no problem saying that. So if somebody can blatantly tell you that they hate you, they hate your existence, they think that you were better off as a slave or better yet dead, then why would you want to be anywhere near that person? Why would you want to be anywhere near those type of people? But that's what, the wicked of our people want to do. They want to be around Esau. They want to be up under this devil. And Esau hates them. Esau wishes he could erase all of us. He wants to kill all of us. He doesn't care about us. And the men of the Lord, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, have been telling our people this. But a lot of our people are, they're coons. They so badly want to please the so-called white man. It's like the only way you could please him is if you're dead, because he hates your existence. But that's one of the lessons that 2/3 of our people are going to have to learn after death by pain. That's the only way they're going to learn that Esau has always been their enemy and will always be their enemy. There is no getting along with this devil. There is no seeing eye to eye with him. There is no, letting bygones be bygones with him. He wants to kill you. And if he gets the opportunity to do so, he will. That's why you always have to be on your guard around these people. They cannot be trusted. And it's getting to the point where Esau can't even trust his own people, because just that article alone shows how Esau is willing to do his own people. Somebody, I remember on TikTok, there was a video about this incident, and people were like, freedom of speech is dead in America. You're supposed to be able to voice your opinion on whatever, but you do that, you'll get locked up. Esau will arrest you, he'll beat you, he'll kill you. Like, freedom of speech is no longer a thing. People are getting censored left and right, whether it's the men of the Lord or just like political commentators. Everyone's getting censored. If you speak out against Esau, if you say anything other than what he wants you to say, if you don't go along with his wicked narrative, then you're going to get censored. And nobody is exempt from that. Not Edomites, not Israelites, not anybody else. And like it says in Revelation 12:12, that Esau, that the devil have come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And Esau is going to start lashing out against just everybody. So-called white men that oppose him, so-called white women that oppose him. We already see Esau attacking children. Even these so-called white kids that are walking out of schools to protest. These grown Edomite men are going up to these schools and attacking these kids. So it's like Esau is a danger to his own people. So if he's willing to hurt his own people, then what do you think he's willing to do to someone who's not his own people? Just keep that in mind. Never trust him. And whenever you have to be around these devils for whatever reason, just beware of them. Just stay on your guard. Stay circumspect. Because you can never trust them. They're all snakes. And when the opportunity presents itself, if the opportunity presents itself, they will strike against you. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, for putting His Spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors toward our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, Shalom.